Are we live?
Yes, sir, you're good to go.
Call the Westfield, Washington Township Advisory Plan Commission to order for July 20th, 2020. Will the staff please call the roll and note the presence of a quorum?
Yes, Ms. Bergman?
Here.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Forte?
Here.
Mr. Johns?
Here.
Dr. Kelleher? Mr. Maui?
Here.
Mr. McCarty?
Here.
Mr. Schmitz?
Here.
Ms. Boljarek?
Here.
And back to Dr. Kelleher. We do have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Next up is consideration and approval of the minutes of July 6, 2020. Having had opportunity to review those minutes, are there any additions, corrections, or comments? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
This is Maui. I'll make a motion that we approve the July 6, 2020 APC minutes as written.
Forte seconds.
I have a motion made by Mr. Maui, seconded by Mr. Orke to approve the minutes of July 6, 2020 as written. Will staff please call the roll?
Ms. Bergman?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Graham? Mr. Forte?
Yes.
Mr. Johns?
Yes.
Dr. Kelleher? Mr. Maui?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Ms. Boljarek?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Other than the consent agenda, we have one item up for consideration this evening, no public hearings. So if you would not mind reviewing the rules and procedures for this evening, please.
Yes, due to the COVID-19 emergency as declared by the Governor of Indiana, the format and conduct of the meeting has been modified to comply with executive orders regarding the conduct of public meetings, public hearings, and public gatherings. Relevant portions of the Indiana Open Door Law have been amended or suspended during the pendency of this emergency. For all petitions, tonight's meeting will have the following structure. The department will summarize the petition and describe what action, if any, is necessary to be taken. Then the petitioner will be given up to 15 minutes to present to the Plan Commission. The President of the Plan Commission will then call on each member to provide comments, questions, or concerns regarding the petition, and the petitioner will then have a chance to respond to comments. Just a couple comments for Plan Commission members and any petitioners who may speak tonight. Please mute your microphones when you are not speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Moving on to the consent agenda, there's only one item on the consent agenda, 2003-DDP-04, and Randall Graham will make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
McCarty will second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda by Randall Graham, seconded by Mr. McCarty. Will you call the roll, please?
Ms. Bergman?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Forte?
Yes.
Mr. Johns?
Yes.
Dr. Kelleher? Mr. Maui?
Yes.
McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Ms. Boljarek?
Yes.
Carries.
Thank you. On to our next and final item of business this evening, which is 2007-ODP-11, 2007-SPP, SP-11 Menards Warehouse Addition.
Thank you, Commission. For the record, this is John Dorsey with the Community Development Department. Before you tonight is the Menards Expansion Primary Plat and Overall Development Plan. This project is located at 2150 East Greyhound Pass and totals approximately 16.21 acres. Petitioner is seeking to modify the existing property lines to add an approximate 270 square foot warehouse on the east end of the Menards property. Petition held its public hearing at your July 6th meeting and has since amended its landscape plan to accommodate. Petitioner is present this evening and does not plan on making a presentation, but the petitioner and their representative and staff are available to address any questions. They ask that you consider an approval vote this evening. I do recommend looking over the changes to the landscape plan prior to. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey. Ms. Boljerek, any questions, comments?
Is there any way we could get a quick summary on what happened at the BZA with this one?
Yes, ma'am. At the last BZA meeting, there was a hearing that allowed them to reduce the side yard and rear setback to accommodate the location of the proposed warehouse, as well as an adjustment to maximum fence height. The fence height has previously been granted, but the new variance will allow them for the new fence to match the existing height of 14 feet. And that was approved.
Okay, thank you. And one more question. Did we hear back from the community that's adjoining that at all?
We have not.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Schmitz, questions or comments?
None from me, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McCarty, questions or comments?
Just to follow up with Cindy from BZA, they did commit to putting plants on the exterior to help beautify that buffer. But otherwise, that is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Maui, questions or comments?
I do not have any questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Johns, questions or comments?
No questions, no comments.
Thank you. Mr. Horke, questions or comments?
Jorge has no questions or comments either.
Thank you. Ms. Berkman, questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Give a shout out to Dr. Kelleher if she's joined us. Dr. Kelleher, any questions or comments? Dr. Kelleher? Okay. I have no questions or comments either. So since that's the end of discussion, I would entertain a motion at this time.
This is Maui. I'll make a motion that we approve the primary plat and overall development plan 2007-SPP11 and 2007-ODP-11 with the staff's noted condition about the approvals to be obtained.
I have a motion made by Mr. Maui, seconded by Mr. Horke, to approve 2007-ODP-11, 2007-SPP-11 Menards Warehouse Addition with the staff's following condition: that all necessary approvals be obtained from the Westfield Public Works Department and Hamilton County Surveyor's Office prior to the issuance of an improvement location permit. Will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Horke?
Yes.
Mr. Johns?
Yes.
Dr. Kelleher? Mr. Maui?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Ms. Boljerek?
Yes.
Ms. Bergman?
Yes.
Carries.
All right, that concludes the business on the agenda this evening. All other items have either been continued or withdrawn. Is there anything further from staff?
No, nothing further from us this evening. Thanks.
Very good, in which case Randall Graham will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Jorge will second that.
Motion made by Randall Graham to adjourn the meeting, seconded by Mr. Jorge. Will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Jorge?
Yes?
Mr. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Malley?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty?
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Ms. Boljeric?
Yes.
Bertman?
Yes.
Graham?
Yes.
Adjourned.
Meeting adjourned. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Thank you.
New track record, guys.